I know Chiggs is in here recording this.
No Chig Smooth in here, right? So whatever you say,
you know Chig gonna have everything up there.
Whatever you say, Chig's gonna be on YouTube with it, man. I like you.
So I'm getting a lot of hits in my DMs and people asking me to comment on this Gunna situation. And first and foremost, I would like to say that the only ends to the streets is death or jail. It's the only outcome. There's no other outcome. You're not gonna retire. You're not gonna get a pension. You're gonna die or go to jail. So if you thinking something else happens being in the streets, you have been misinformed. You have been miseducated. You have been led astray. You have been bamboozled. There's no outcome in the streets but death or jail. Once in a while, somebody slips to the cracks and this and that, but there's no real outcome. There's nothing that comes from it. And this is a classic example. I don't know these brothers' situation. I cannot say anything about their lives and, you know, the accusations and, you know, that they're facing as a trial. But what I can say about this situation, you know, there's multiple ways to look at this. Gunna could have came to a consensus with whoever. You know, all of the people who charge, you know, I don't know. Once again, I'm just giving you a scenario. If there's a understanding that, you know, because these things happen, Gunna might have communicated. His lawyers might have communicated with other lawyers and say, yo, what's the best thing we can do? And they may have come up with the strategy. Thug and everybody else might have said, Gunna got the best chance to go home. You know, let's get him in the streets because we need finances. We need shit to go on. We need people to make sure our families is taken care of. And he got a chance to go home. We not in the same position he is. We don't have the same opportunities to go home. So we willing to, we okay with you taking that, and we'll deal with that on the back end. That's the reality that could have come, you know. And then there's the reality, because actually, what I will be honest about is his statement does make it clear that they've established this as a gang. So it's not good for anybody. You know, once you establish that there's a gang, it's not a good thing for them. That's not something that is a positive thing. But if they're willing to deal with that reality, if they come to a consensus, because those things happen. You know, people go to trial. There's a, you know, I mean, people are accused of things. People look at the situation and say, yo, he ain't even really got nothing to do with this. Or I don't have nothing to do with this, but he got the best chance to go home. So boom, we agree, go ahead. You do that. We're going to take this. We're going to deal with this. You know, but like everyone says, establishing that YSL is a gang does not look good for a RICO charge. That's what they have to do. In order for a RICO charge to stick, they have to establish that it's a criminal enterprise. So one person or anybody that's closely knit to anybody who identifies YSL as a gang does not really look good for them. But people might say, I can deal with that in order to get you home, because that's something that happens all the time. So calling a person a snitch without understanding or seeing the paperwork or understanding the ramifications and the understandings of their case is just wrong. That's one-on-one. If you don't see paperwork or the person who supposedly you snitched on don't say you snitched on, you just don't call nobody a snitch. But there's new rules. The suckers create the rules now. You know what I'm saying? Suckers is out here creating the rules. So there's no rules to anything. And it's not street rules, it's just manhood rules. It's just dealing with accountability. It's men, me and my friend coming to agreement about how we doing things. You know? And then there's a situation as this. They might feel, Gunna himself might feel like, and this is what happens. This is what happens in the streets, y'all. A lot of people feel like, I ain't do all that. You know, I ain't even involved in that. I'm just here on this. I'm just doing that. But people profit and they're able to benefit off of all of that, right? I'm not with all that, but I'm staying close enough to all that, and I'm going to benefit by being attached to that. I'm going to get the rewards. I'm going to get the fame. I'm going to get the money. I'm going to get all the things that come with being attached to that. But I'm not with all that. So when the consequences come, I don't think I should have to deal with the consequences, because I actually was I profited off of that, but I didn't do none of the shit that was going on. Yeah, I was able to benefit and profit from having close proximity to that, but I don't want to deal with the consequences and this is a real reality. And I'm not saying that this is Gunna's situation. Once again, I do not know Gunna's situation. I do not know the totality of any of the situations. I'm just giving you scenarios so you can understand. But what it all boils down to is the street shit ain't gonna work. It don't work for nobody. It don't work. It's a short-lived experience. It's a short-lived nostalgia. It's energy. It's all of that shit. But if you look at all of these stories, they end up the same way. Somebody telling on somebody going to jail, somebody dying. It's the same old scenario. And unfortunately, these folk tales and folklores in our community, we've indoctrinated them into our culture. And we normalize some shit that don't make no sense. We normalize our own demise for a short-lived window of perceived success. For delusions of grandeur. We have sacrificed our lives and our livelihoods, our families and everything for delusions of grandeur. And it don't work. The bottom line of all this shit is stay the fuck out of the streets. The minute that you can get out, if you in these streets, get out right now. Because the reality, and it's not saying Gunna or anybody, but your best friend will turn on you. They will tell on you. They are envious of you. They will do all type of shit. It's not going to work. They will kill you. They will do all the friend that you sitting with right now. I know you looking at him. You looking at him right now and you saying, this is my man. There's no way. I don't give a fuck what a nigga tell me. Not him. You ever seen the movie with LL Cool J and Omar Epps? And the nigga LL said, not you, Jay Reed. Nah, you ain't no cop, Jay Reed. It's a bunch of Jay Reeds out here, my nigga. It's a bunch of them. The streets is not going to make it for you. You know what I'm saying? We got to shift this culture. We got to shift our mind states. So once again, this was based off me talking about Gunna, but it's definitely a teachable moment. None of this shit is going to win for you. None of these people care about you. Every man is going to go for himself. The new culture is the 6ix9ines. I'm not saying Gunna is one of those, but the 6ix9ine niggas that tell you I snitch and I'm going to tell on this and I'm going to come out and so what and I'm going to do that, that's what it is. So stay the fuck out these streets, man, and you don't got to worry about